Okay, lower that music. What's up, everybody? This is Francisco here for Sports Goofs number 138. I'm joined by my good buddies Andrew and Charles once more. Yeah, it's a bit of a late start today. I had some troubles with my computer, but I finally got it to cooperate with me, and now it can cooperate with us on the show. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. How about you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Came home, took a little quick shower, and then my computer decided to run slow as molasses, and it's all thanks to Batman Arkham Knight. So there you go. I, I should have known because apparently Batman Arkham Knight had some really notorious bugs on the PC version, which I did experience on my playthrough. If you look at my own channel, and yeah, but I gotta find some YouTube workarounds on there to see if, because apparently some people have it running at 60 frames without choppiness. That's the unfortunate thing sometimes when you have a PC. Sometimes some games just don't play nice with your setup compared to consoles. So yeah, oh well. Yeah. How about you, Charles? I haven't heard from you.
I'm good. I'm just being professional today. So as we're doing this show, I'm
Everything
taking
he
this
hates about
2 hour.
himself.
I know. I'm taking this 2 hour opportunity that we have to actually compile the remaining rough draft of a presentation I have to do for a CLE. For CLE for listeners is a continuing legal education, which means Charles has sold out. And this is what happens when you stay in the field for too long for one particular section and people know you and they ask you to do things. And then you get caught up with all the other stuff and you have a window of, oh, I don't know, a day and a half to do things. But one thing I will tell anybody who's doing presentations, for the love of God, always have an outline. And I have my outline, and I hate PowerPoint. I am not a PowerPoint person. I know it's user friendly, but my style of presentation is very TED Talk. Different from the podcast because I'm very tangent and I run and everything like that. But whenever I do my public speaking and everything, there's that humor, there's that TED Talk. And TED Talk with every TED Talk person is the whole thing: seriousness, joke, seriousness, hand movements, walking around, seeing people engaged. And I'm the public speaker that treats it like wrestling. The worst thing for wrestling is to have a dead audience. Cheer me, cheer me, tell me I suck or say what. But if you're dead quiet, it's going to affect my ego. That's how I am here. And you don't have those certain capacities with PowerPoint, because I feel PowerPoint is like, on this we do this, on this we do this, on this we do this. But, for the bar, they like PowerPoints, they like outlines. You want your CLE for your credits, let's go do it. That's me.
Andrew's probably got more experience than us in presenting things to an audience.
That's true.
Any sort of tips you have there, Andrew? How's your style? What's your style compared to Charles?
Well, unfortunately, the presentations I go to, you have to be normal. So you don't really get that opportunity to, move around the room and talk about stuff like that.
A podium or something. You just stand up there.
Well, you do have a podium. You have a podium and you stand there. I mean, I guess in theory you could move around, but since I have papers and I never have my things fully memorized, I can't really move around the room unless I'm talking after the fact, Q&A. So, I mean, if you have to speak normally, when is your presentation?
Oh, I mean, my presentation is next Thursday. I just have to do an outline. I've done numerous CLEs before in front of my judicial circuit, in front of bar associations. This one's not. If I have to bore you, it's essentially just going through substantive matters and issues of petitions and what I do in my line of work. So it's about getting. I hate writing the boring parts because a lot of this stuff is very hypothetical, but I've been working in my field for 5 years. I have overseen numerous attorneys my time going. I supervise that. So I got stories galore. But part of the thing is, like, I got to hit the touch points to certify for Florida Bar. So I have no concerns with this. Just finding time, and I'm sure you both can speak to it, time to compile something when you come home from work, when you're extremely exhausted, and you still have to do time to these things. I don't get how some of our friends can do 12-hour, 13-hour, 14-hour work days but they're built differently than I am. Good luck for you kids who decide to go stay in Miami instead of just moving an hour and a half north or going west or something, who want to go in the big old law litigation and you're stuck eating, chips at like 12 o'clock at night as dinner because you got to crunch numbers for the pyramid scheme of big law businesses.
Well then, okay. I knew this.
Well,
I knew this would devolve into you just like. Well, I mean, you hate all of this. You hate all of that. What you've become.
Yeah. Well, so me and my paralegal, and I guess this is always to be a segue because we are lawyers who are sports analysts, and there are lawyers in life. You can become a sports agent. Maybe that's what we'll do with it. But sometimes what happens is, and him and I joke about it, is that I'm not just the guy now. I'm the right guy, and that's what happens when you get to any kind of profession. When you realize that you're adept and you're competent, and you somehow survive by a bit of luck, but it wouldn't be Trujillo luck if I didn't have any luck, right? But you become the right person, the right guy, the right gal, the right human being for that situation. Don't go to law school, kids. It will steal your money. You will F up, and then you'll become a Supreme Court justice who follows different faiths to overturn something that's been established for something years. Ooh, touchy topics. Listen, I've been on that Twitter feed, and I've been looking at sports and everything like that. What a joke. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh man. So, yeah, some things went down, but that's not what this show's about. That's not what this show's about. We'll
can't smoke crack, can't have abortions, you can't have anything fun in this country.
The No Fun League. Well, yeah. Speaking of No Fun League, NFL Draft happened last week. Me and Charles, we'll talk about that. If you want genuine live reactions, we did do it. I did do the whole 4 hours and debased myself. However, this year I was able to survive a lot better because one, I got a Wendy's honey chicken sandwich during it, but two, Charles's agony lifted my spirits. His anguish sustained me. So that was great.
It was such. We've done 3 years of it now.
Yeah,
and that was the first time I just got the rug pulled under me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to feel about it, but if we were able, hindsight's 2020, if we were able to get draft day 2 and day 3 reactions, you would have had a much more happier Charles.
That's true. That's true. Thanks, but that first day was a genuine reaction. And Andrew, I don't know, did you watch the clip of
yes.
Charles's anguish?
Yes, I did.
It's a thing of beauty. It's what was it? The Wide World of Sports. What was the motto for it? The agony of defeat, right? Something like that. Something.
The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat.
Yeah, basically. And Charles was.
Man, I ain't got no victory.
It was the agony of defeat. That's what it was.
Paper victory, and somebody has the Need Knob SpongeBob pen that's just erasing me.
And Need Knock. All right, so I did post that on our TikTok account. Let's see, and we did have quite a number of people that watched us that day as well, that night. So right now, I did a TikTok poll. Did the Titans? How do you do, fellow kids? Did the Titans lose this trade? And 75% of our TikTok audience said yes. So not that great for Charles on that very day. But oh well, the things evened out, I guess. I don't know. The Dolphins had a draft party.
Everything.
The Dolphins had a draft party.
Anybody?
Well, in the first round, they didn't have any picks, and the Dolphins threw a draft party for whatever reason. People showed up. So I don't know. I'm gosh, man. Anyways,
I was gonna say don't bring your kids around there if Tyreek Hill's there, but I feel that's too low hanging fruit.
Oh no.
Look, he's your guy.
Yeah. Well. Gosh, man. Anyway, so that was the NFL draft. That was the only day we covered it. I don't know anybody of note. Well, you guys got Malik. Was it Malik?
All right, so I can literally list out everybody that we got. We got Traylon Burks from Arkansas, which made me feel better because apparently Aaron Rodgers wanted him. And then so John Robinson sat me down, Andrew, the GM of the Titans, and he told me last minute that the trade was going to happen, but I didn't believe him. He said, "Listen, we're gonna do these things." I'm like, "But I love AJ Brown. He's our guy." And he goes, "Listen, what do you love more than AJ Brown?" I'm like, "Not much." He's like, what about screwing over Aaron Rodgers? I'm like, oh, I love that. And so he screwed over Aaron Rodgers. But the thing was is that is allegedly who the Green Bay Packers was targeting for. Aaron Rodgers, mind you, they have nobody but a bust down Sammy Watkins fingernail. They were able to get the kid out of, I think his last name is West, from North Dakota or whatever, but that could be a slow transition. But it hurt a lot. But I wanted a quarterback, I wanted a halfback, I wanted linemen, so we got Traylon Burks. We needed a receiver anyway, but the thing was we needed that for A.J. Brown and Robert Woods, but we were able to get that. We got Malik Willis in the third round, so I'm just like Steve McNair all over because I did watch him play at Liberty. I know he was an Auburn transfer, but you got to feel good when everybody was literally saying that this is the top quarterback in the league, and he only got dropped down to the third round, and the next guy that was picked in the first round was like Kenny Pickett, and everybody else was just kind of like a knee-jerk reaction. Like Desmond Ridder, I'm going to say it now, and forgive me because I know you were a former Cincinnati Bearcat fan, and I know that Andrew supported this as AAC alum or CUSA alum. I forgot which conference everybody's in there. But Desmond Ridder had an opportunity to go to the big time when he played against Bama, and I don't think they scored a touchdown, and Bama's defensive players all kind of got drafted. So that tells me all I need to know there. The pomp and circumstance of, like, I'm not going to leave till I win the Super Bowl. I'm like, good luck, kid. I think you really capped out potential playing in Cincy, but I'm just being petty. I was happy to get Malik Willis. I was also very happy to get Hassan Haskins, and for the few times I did watch a Michigan game, he was a running back going from there. We need to spell Henry, and then we got Kyrie Phillips from UCLA to be, I guess, the other receiver. So Charles is satisfied now, but day one was traumatic. I don't think I could ever do a draft day ever again. This is a stops. I will do it, of course, per obligation, but this is a stop-still draft for us, Francisco and Andrew, because whereas we're kind of near the end of our peak, and then we have to build towards the future. I'm saying it right now on the record, dated May 3rd, 2002 or 2022 at 7:21 p.m. I am not scared of old-ass Matt Ryan on the Colts. I am not scared of the Jaguars. Don't play me on Houston, man. They might get something done in the next couple of years. I'm just saying. But the window of this regime is ending. Now we're trying to build a window for the next regime. And then, of course, Baltimore always has competent drafts, whatever.
Oh,
I just wanted a tackle.
that was the exact thing. I just wanted a tackle. Remember that. Andrew, you were modding on that night.
Correct.
Any sort of notable things that happened on the board that day? Any notable comments, or like everybody flipped out with the AJ Brown going to Philly?
I wasn't really following the users. What I was doing is we have a thread that we post, and what we do just for the first round is we update it pick by pick. So we say, I forgot who got picked, or where did Aiden Hutchinson go?
He went to Detroit, second round.
Second pick. Yeah, and from Michigan goes to Detroit. It was kind of like a no-brainer.
Right. We just have like a little logo. It says Detroit pick is this player. What school did he come from, and what was his position? So we have a little kind of chart that we just update pick by pick. So that was my duty. So I wasn't really following along with what everyone was saying. So I can't really say what the pulse was, but I didn't see any sort of emergencies popping up, so I assume everyone was fairly well behaved.
Okay. I guess we do this.
There's probably one Titan fan in Reddit, apparently. It wasn't me.
Let's see. So there's, and I kind of want to see if I can find this information. But anybody from, I guess, well, you're the UCF guy from UCF.
We had one guy drafted, defensive tackle Kalia Davis, went to San Francisco. I think he got drafted, I believe, in the 6th round. I think he would have gone higher, but he tore his ACL about halfway through the season, so naturally that's going to turn people off, make them a bit more wary. But if he gets back to health, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I know San Francisco, and again, I don't know much about the NFL, so I just kind of go by what I hear, mainly from Urinating Tree. Um,
Yeah, he was a good follow that night.
they have some dude, Nick Bosa, right?
Yeah, you should know Nick Bosa just from college days, man. From like 2 years ago when he was at Ohio State.
Well, I forget what team he's on, but
Yeah, he's on the 49ers.
so, and he's an edge, correct?
Yes, and they could use somebody up the middle to kind of help out because they don't have much on the depth chart.
So yeah, Kalia will absolutely help there, especially if his knee gets back to 100%. We had a few guys that went UDFA. I don't remember who exactly. We had hold on.
Charleston Rambo went to Carolina. I'm just saying that our wide receiver, the only guy in Miami worth noting, in my opinion.
Let me see. Here we go. Thank you, Orlando Sentinel. We had 4 guys go UDFA. And I think one other person got a tryout. We had son of a paywall.
Every time. You
Listen,
ran out of free trials.
As a journalism major, I understand the need for paywalls because otherwise all news would go dead. It's still annoying nonetheless. So we had Cole Schneider. He went to the Packers. He is an O-lineman. Which, funny enough, one of Green Bay's, if he's not in the Hall of Fame, he should be. Do you guys know Josh Sitton?
Yes.
UCF alum.
Really?
So Cole is going to be kind of the next generation of Packers O linemen from UCF. Big Cat Bryant, who transferred in from Auburn this past year, his last season, is going to the Cowboys. He is a linebacker. No. In college, he was an edge, but they're likely going to try and move him to linebacker because he's a bit small, apparently, for the position. He's 6'5", 245. We had Brandon Johnson, a wide receiver, going to Denver, and then you have Marcus Tatum, who was a tackle, going to Jacksonville, offensive tackle. So, hopefully he can give Trevor Lawrence a little more time to pass and not get completely shredded. But we'll see. I mean, this was a relatively small class for us. We had, I think, 5 guys drafted a season or 2 ago. This time we only had the 1, but that was not unexpected. We'll have a few more guys in the pipeline in the next couple of years.
Okay.
But yeah, relatively kind of not impressive draft for us.
Well,
and I think FIU got a few UDFAs, but I don't think anyone was drafted. Or at least some tryouts. Let me check. So, well, it's cool to be able to say this because I followed a lot of these guys, having covered FIU for RCFB, and I don't explicitly cover them. I'm not RCFBs.
I don't know if you guys notice Freddie's on. So what's up, Freddie?
Hi, Freddie.
Welcome to the
Freddie.
new studio. I don't think he saw it just yet, but yeah, we got some new digs. We got some new digs.
So I just want to reiterate, I'm not the FIU correspondent for RCFB. It's just FIU
in an unofficial capacity. You kind of are
correct. I technically cover anything in South Florida, but since FIU is 15 minutes down the road, and as it stands, they don't really have a lot of people in the media covering their games. It's kind of like a match made in heaven. So FIU had two guys, Devontae Price, a running back, and then we had he signed with the Colts, UDFA, and then you had Tommy Heatherly staying in Miami to the Dolphins as a punter, UDFA. Now, Francisco, as a Dolphins fan, I don't know what your punter situation is, but Heatherly is really
take a look
really,
at the chat as well, just to see what Freddie's commenting.
No Borschlager. What do you cover with? No
Bortenschlager, yeah.
No KZ though. Yeah. Well, that's too easy. I'm not gonna dig at Andrew. It's okay.
I mean, what do you cover it with? I mean, listen, I get it. His leg wasn't injured. He at least from what I know about how teams treat quarterbacks, he really had not a great chance of catching on anywhere just because he's so small. Mm-hmm. He's under 6 feet and he's probably maybe 200 pounds. So, I mean, it was going to be a long shot anyway. Who knows? He could still catch on somewhere, but it's not likely. And I'm realistic when I can be, when I want to be, which is pretty often usually. But his odds of getting into the NFL were slim as it was. His system was great under Scott Frost. I mean, the dude can sling it like nobody's business. His release is unlike anything I've ever seen. It is so quick. And he is incredibly smart as a quarterback. But unfortunately, he's small. Freddie, we would love to have him in the FCF. Absolutely.
Do you
FCF
think that
fan choice football? It's a new spring league that started. It's unlike any of the other spring football leagues. But
what about the USFL and the I guess the new one that the Rock has?
XFL. It's the XFL.
I think the USFL is starting already.
Yeah, it's already. They've already. The USFL is already kind of ran, and I'm sure Freddie's going to comment about the. I'm sure he's taking a look at the USFL. It's running all from Birmingham, Alabama, which I guess makes sense, saving money and stuff like that. And they've had a few, 3 weeks into the USFL. I think they've had a few somewhat highlight reel things, but once more, it's a league for guys who are just trying to make it onto a practice squad or NFL roster of some sort like that.
I will say this though about the USFL, the Birmingham Stallions. One of their wide receivers is a former Knight, Marlon Williams. He's during the Frost and Heupel eras, and actually now that I think about it, the Malzahn era as well. We've had a lot of Swiss Army knives. Otis Anderson, rest in peace. Marlon Williams, and God, I forget his name, but we have a new one. We seem to have one guy who's a running back technically, but they can play wide receiver. Very much a hybrid position. So Marlon was one of those Swiss Army knives for us, and he's just balling right now. So, but getting back to the main point, what you were saying, I think he could be successful. I mean, if he plays somewhere, if he's given a shot, he'll do well. From all indications, his leg is fine, which is a miracle. I I think with the USFL or the XFL or even FCF, the competition is a little bit smaller, a little bit less. So I think teams would be more willing to give him a shot there. Who's the former FIU QB?
Ncaa? Alex McGall? Magoo? I don't know.
Mr. Magoo.
Could be Magoo. Yeah, Magoo. That doesn't surprise me. He was picked up a few years ago by not the Jets, the Seahawks. So yeah, I could see him. Also, former FSU guy. So yeah, I could see Casey getting on in one of those leagues. I think wherever he goes, he would be successful. But ultimately, I think where he's really going to make his money and impact is going to be when he becomes a coach, not if, but when. Because he's so smart as a quarterback.
Do you think he has the potential to, if he's not going to be a coach, could be like the Chris Winkie of after college, where he's basically training these guys into a combine, having the football prep that comes into and get paid big money to tell guys how to fix their mechanics, even though they were not successful at the college level, or I'm not in college, but on the professional level.
You could see that. His big thing, what I've seen a lot of issues, or I've heard a lot of issues quarterbacks have, is they have these long looping windups, which is supposedly not good. But somehow KZ is able to put unbelievable power behind his throws and with basically zero windup. So he could absolutely help there. Also, the mental aspect of it. I mean, if you're a guy who nearly lost your leg due to amputation, was able to come back, not just to be able to walk, but to actually play meaningful minutes in college football games, you've got some mental tenacity unlike any other. But even before that, he was just so smart as a player. I keep saying that, I know. But yeah, he could absolutely be a coach, whatever you called it.
Okay. All right, so we're at, let's see, we're a half hour in, what, 7:37 right now. So I just want to give you guys a time. I'm trying to be better at this whole, like, getting us to know where we are time wise. One guy from Florida State got selected, Jermaine Johnson II. So
yep, edge rusher 32 for the Jets.
Yeah. So yeah, going to the New York Jets, unfortunately. So congratulations to him, but unfortunately, you play for the Jets. So they did the Seminole chop while after he got selected with his whole family there and everything. So yay, hooray! Well, we got a guy, I guess. I don't know of any notable Canes because I don't pay attention, but maybe Charles does. Not sure.
I mean, I didn't. It wasn't really a heavy draft class that I remember. All I know is Charleston, because last year was our year, to what I recall, because we had Gregory Rousseau and then Julian Phillips went to the Dolphins, and Rousseau, I believe, went to the Bills. But I don't recall them getting anybody in there. That's why I mentioned Charleston Rambo, who played well for us on the football team as a wide receiver. I think he had 1,200 yards. Last year, just going to it, but he was an undrafted free agent. And it's weird where you can see numbers that seem like they pop out on the college level, and then when you're reading these supposed professional football analysts' grades on your guys, they go to Rambo and they're just like, oh, he's a tiny guy, can't get really big or anything like that, and all this other stuff, and he's just not the guy coming into it. He's undersized. I'm like, yeah, but he had like 1,200 yards. Maybe he knows how to run routes. Maybe he's a system guy. Whatever. The only one that was picked in the actual round was in the 7th round to the Packers, Jonathan Ford, defensive tackle. So that might be a guy who gets bounced around. But I think
all three of us agree. I feel for a defensive tackle because it's such a not a high demand position that you could literally be undrafted or in the low rounds and still make a successful football career. You I think you get more opportunities. So even going to Andrew's guy, even though he might be playing behind Javon Kinlaw and a few other guys on that line, if you're a big fat boy and you know how to stop dudes from running up the middle, or if you get some speed and explosiveness, you'll have some good chances. So good luck to both our guys who are drafted and then undrafted.
Okay. Let's do a quick score update right here. Boston's up 42-25 against Milwaukee right now. 6:58 in the second. Then Golden State Memphis play later on tonight. Golden State won the first game. A very close game, but still they won the first game, which I don't know, doesn't bode well for Memphis. Of course, Draymond got thrown out of the game for let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick.
Going straight into basketball, I can live with this.
I just want to talk about. I mean, I just looked up the score. I just want to talk about this real quick. I mean, we don't have to go deeper until later on, but just the whole Draymond Green getting thrown out for the flagrant foul, and we're gonna look at it now and get some freaking opinions here. But I mean, I don't know. Draymond.
Jay Crowder just like need Luka straight in the balls, like WWE style. So anything, if that didn't get ejected, that was intentional.
Yeah.
You can see guys in your peripheral vision, but grabbing a jersey, whatever.
Yeah, I think he grabbed it.
He grabbed it.
He grabbed it. I mean that's a legitimate him trying to make the foul. But he didn't. I mean, he could have not helped it because he knew what he was going to do, and he knew that he would have to soften it up by making sure he doesn't land too hard on the floor. So I think Draymond has done this calculated, but I feel like he didn't prepare for that actually being called a flagrant 2, and that's all that it was. That's all that it was. I don't think it's as malicious as many people think because of course Draymond's history in the past, but it was still a foul that he meant to do.
So that's where Brandon Clark's kind of a little punk, because if you watched his post-game interview, it says, well, I grew up watching him, or I've been watching him. That's just a style of game. Not surprised. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. It's basketball.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bumping and shoving in between everything. And on the same day or a day after, I see what Jay Crowder, we miss you, Jay Crowder. Don't miss you right now. I missed you last year. Did to Luka, and then you have Brandon Clark kind of, I don't want to say it's the Messiah complex if I am a victim of flagrant foul from Draymond Green, but there's no support group, buddy. You don't meet on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. through a Twitch stream on a Facebook Messenger or on a Spotify Messenger or on any kind of messenger that's out there, Discord. It's just you go on. Alex Caruso would like to have words with you on what is actual dirty plays.
So we're showing it right now on the screen here, and that is a straight up him kicking out and just landing it right there in the face.
Markieff Morris would like to have a word with you, Brent. Like, you know who you need to talk to? You need to go into your history books from 4th grade, go to dinosaurs, and look at Parasolophagus, and you're going to see the main instigator of the flagrant Nikola Jokic. And guess who ain't going to stick around? Jokic.
Yeah.
Because he's trash. No. You're extinct. Just like the Parasolophagus.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't seen. We didn't even talk about the fact that they're not there no more. They're extinct.
Yeah, they got the job in sweep. Trying to do too much, huh? East.
Oh man, so that's happening as well. Let me go to the other scores here. NHL tonight, right now, the Panthers and the Capitals are happening right now. It's going on. You can see it on our screens here in the back, but whatever, express written consent of Major League Baseball, whatever you want to say. So we've got that happening, and later on, right now, also the New York Rangers and the Penguins are happening. The Rags are up 1-0 right now in against in Madison Square. So
why does everyone call them the Rags? I don't get that.
I mean, I think it's just a shortened way of saying the Rangers, so the Rags.
Sure.
Or Broadway blue shirts. It's longer. No, see, it doesn't make sense. So Broadway blue shirts is a little too long as well. But either way, the Rags.
Like,
And
why
then
do you have to like abbreviate Rangers?
I don't know. They're from New York. I don't know. They're your people, man. You figure it out.
I mean, New Yorkers don't abbreviate. We really just enunciate every damn syllable. I think they. I think we actually, and mind you, I have the terrible portion of being from New York and then going a little southern when I moved to Polk County. So then when the Yipin and Yan come in, it's worse. But I think we would literally be like, all right, how many syllables does it have? How much can we elongate it to? It's right up there to the Boston accents.
Later on, Colorado and Nashville out in Denver, and then Dallas versus the Calgary Flames. And then we got baseball happening. Man, the Marlins are losing again. Sheesh, man. We had a freaking 7-game winning streak, and now it's just like, yeah, you know what? Let's just erase all of that, and they have a 3-game losing streak.
7 games?
Yeah, well,
Amateurs.
no,
Amateurs.
We'll get to. You know what? Let's do it now. Let's have Charles' Stroke Fest happening right now. Okay, Major League Baseball standings right now, and they had. Let me go on to onto Twitter here, and we'll stop showing Luca getting kneed in the balls real quick. But MLB had their power rankings today, and we're just gonna go to that right now. That's Ben Verlander's. We don't care. I'm looking for Major League Baseball's. Here we go. So this is the power rankings. Actually, no, this is from a week ago. What are we doing, Major League Baseball? Where's the new ones? Sheesh. Twitter, you need to get better with your search engine. I just want to search for the one thing that you guys showed me like 10 times this morning and I couldn't get away from. So, it'll be there. I'll find something. You know what? Let's just screw it. We'll just look at freaking Ben Verlander's freaking Justin Verlander's brother. He's got the top 10 here. His is the New York Yankees at the top. The New York Mets behind them, and then the Toronto Blue Jays, the LA Dodgers, the Angels, the Giants, the Brewers, the Padres, the Twins, and the Cardinals. I don't know how the Twins got there. I don't believe in any team in the American League Central. And so yeah, and Charles is gloating because what's it now? 10 games? Is a 10-game winning streak, Charles? That's what's happening right now.
A real team too.
What, the real the Kansas City Royals?
No, we beat the Blue Jays last night.
Oh yes, a division rivalry. The Blue Jays. That was what's happening. Where's the power? Gosh, man. Let me put latest on MLB power rankings. Maybe that'll show up because I think the Rays actually popped up on there too.
Well, the Rays are getting back into the stroke of things. So
Yeah.
the Yankees love fest. I wasn't about it because you beat the teams that you're expected to beat when you're playing with Kansas, when you're playing the Orioles like 20 times in the first 30 games of schedule, what have you. So you're expected to win those. We split the series with Toronto, but we beat them last night. Now it kind of matters because of formulas. But why I'm getting a little excited, why the Stroke Fest is happening, I've had many Rizzo Jizzos in the course of the season starting because the man has 9 home runs. 3 of them came in a single game. Aaron Judge is, putting on the work because he has 8 home runs and he didn't have to do a multi-homer game. And then more importantly, and this is the reason why, guys, I think I'm kind of coming back into gaming a little bit because I was in a deep depression. I've been able to give some cold jobs, not 1 but 2. And I think my game meter is associated to cold jobs. I'm almost certain about it. I thought about it because I didn't get into Metroid Dread until a certain Garrett Cole got the job done, so I can get the job done. It's like that episode of South Park where Cream Fresh, where Randy just can't do it, and Sharon's like, "Can I try something?" And then Randy's like, "I don't want to cook anymore." That's how I feel. Instead of like being down and depressed and trying new things, I just see Garrett Cole, and to remind people, what's the rule of the Cole job? 1 run or less in his pitching unless he's pulled early for injury. So it was bad. And then it became good. And I became fulfilled.
Yeah, so here's MLB's power rankings right now. They still have the Dodgers at number 1. New York Mets at number 2, and then the New York Yankees at number 3. Then Toronto, San Francisco, Milwaukee, San Diego, Tampa, Angels, and then the Cardinals. So that's the current MLB power rankings. I can't fault. I mean, I can see the Cardinals bringing up the rear. That makes sense to me. Angels have done well to start the season, which is maybe this is the year they actually get it together, expanded playoffs and everything, and Mike Trout can actually get another shot at the postseason. The
Name
Rays
me
are
a guy besides Christian Yelich on the Brewers when you get to that, and then they'll come all together for you.
yeah. Minnesota and Milwaukee are leading the division right now, but I guess people don't believe in Minnesota as a top tier team. Gosh darn it, man! The Capitals are up 1-0. Damn it, Bobrovsky, get Knight in there. That's okay. Well, that threw me off, guys. I'm sorry. I'm completely sorry, Andrew. You're putting these hexes on us with the President's Trophy, making me think about it. Now I'm worried. Now I'm scared.
He got punished by losing 5-0 against what, the Blue Jackets? Was that who you guys played? Or
Montreal.
Toronto, Montreal. There you
Yeah.
go. I'm a Brad Marchand guy. Okay, so our beloved Boston Bruins. All right, we were down against a bunch of jerks in the Carolinas, but I support you guys. It's okay.
Yeah. Whatever. Hold on. The review. I don't know. We'll look at that. And yeah, the Yankees are looking good. They're a likable team, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that Stanton's there, and I want him to be happy. You know, Anthony Rizzo's such a likable guy. Right?
Yeah, baby. We're part of the dog club now.
You have Nasty Nestor out there.
Yeah, Super Mario Nestor.
Yeah. So
And then, but you know what's best about all this? Boston really sucks, and it makes me happy.
that's true.
Trevor Story does not have a home run at all.
They're only one game ahead of Baltimore right now.
Oh, it's so good. And here's the thing about Boston and that whole organization, they're impatient as a motherfucker. We're talking about from Dave Dombrowski. Oh, I don't even know if he's still on.
No,
it
he's
as their DP.
he's the Phillies
bailed.
GM. Yeah.
He's the Phillies GM now, but whoever their new guy, they switch dudes so much now these
Yeah.
days. But and I know it's Heim Bloom or something like that. I think it's that current guy. But you have guys in contract years. You have the fan base who had high-end expectations. You signed the shortstop that everybody wanted that was not Carrera, and nothing is coming of ilk. Your pitching is ass from the front to the back end, and it just makes me so happy because I'm on this hate train of Alex Cora can't manage a ball game. So my intent and goal is from them going to what they were second place in the East last year to be just as bad as the Orioles at the end of the season and to get Cora fired, because Revenge Painmaker Tour did not work for you people when it comes to shifting the Boston Red Sox. Really, it's not the Boston Red Sox, but Alex Cora. But this year we're on the Hater Nation Holleration in this Dancery tour. And part of that is going to be just hating on everything. Dave Chappelle, haters ball. I hate you. I hope all the worst things bad happen to you. That's going to be that man that I'm bringing in that energy for against Alex Cora. So I'm loving every bit of it. I think Trevor Story is a wonderful human being. I hope to God he doesn't hit a single home run at all this season. I hope all the bad things happen to Alex Cora and his managing and officiating of this team so he's fired. That's how intense it is. Is that being petty, Andrew? You've been quiet. Is that petty, or do you agree with me?
I mean, anything goes when it comes to rivalries. So the only thing that I say it goes too far is wishing injury upon someone.
Well, I haven't said injury, though. We did have a debate on that. Did we not?
I'm just speaking in general. As long as you don't wish injury upon them or say anything about their family, I think anything goes, in my opinion.
I think that's what we should do for a debate segment, because we did have the group chat. We'll do it on a different show or a different episode. But remember the group chat where just like injuries really, it's just more of a pomp and circumstance.
Like right now, if Alex Ovechkin got injured or was out for the entire series, I'd be happy.
Yeah.